cleanses. There's a big push out in the natural health world, certainly among naturopaths, among homeopaths, among chiropractors, among alternative MDs, maybe even massage therapists. You go in any health food store, there's a big kind of promotional theme that if we just do a little, we should work and cleanse, that even means, because it can mean various things depending. So cleanses are typically quantified as a means of kind of opening up pathways in the body, giving your body a bit of a break, freeing up some energy, maybe taking you off of pro-inflammatory foods, clean out the liver, assist the kidneys, clean out the gut. So these are kind of like big statements for things that tend to be applied in small amounts. So here's the deal. A lot of times practitioners say, I'm going to put you on a cleanse, and then that's going to start the process of healing your gut. Great. However, truth be told, if people have gut issues, they've likely been brewing them for 10, 20 years, give or take, because it takes the body a long time to reach threshold to where you actually start having symptoms. And so as a result, even the mere notion that I'm going to give you like 5 days of cleansing and it's going to start to heal your gut inflammation is a bit far-reaching, and it's also really misleading. And although the practitioner that you might have heard that from may disagree with me, it actually is an inefficient way to go about healing the body, I guess, unless, so the question you need to ask yourself is, do I want to solve the deeper problem, or am I cool with surface results? If you're cool with surface results, then great. Go do a quick cleanse and kind of quote unquote restore the gut and then work deeper from there. But in reality, cleansing requires a huge amount of energy. So here's how it works. When we need to detox our body, and that can be from foods, that can be metals, this can be pesticides, this can be plastics, this can be hormonal detox, which, by the way, hint, hint, they're all applicable at all times for all people. So it is not, they're not separate events, and they shouldn't be treated as such. But let's just, for argument's sake, say that you can go about this as separate events, like many, many practitioners out there do. Then it is not something that's going to be accomplished in 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Honestly, for most people, it's not going to be accomplished in 6 months. However, if you approach it within the parameters of how the body works, you have a much greater chance of achieving success. So how does the body work? So the body works according to principles of its own bioorganization. Your body's much wiser than any doctor or practitioner is. It's wiser than you are, and it's an innate intelligence. Not to say that you're not part of your body, but let's just look at it this way. Your body has a structural organization order that it wants things to be done in. And in all honesty, very often we think the order should be something different than it actually is. And with cleansing, this is a huge problem. So if you have toxic organ systems and they need to be cleansed and assisted so that they can finally function at a higher capacity, the first thing that needs to happen is they need to be given back the resources to have enough energy to function at that higher capacity. So if you're not doing that, if you go in instead and you just take the load off, so I'm just doing anti-inflammatory foods, or I'm doing a water fast, I'm doing a juice fast, you're just taking off the load, but you're not giving back what is needed to repair the energetic systems in the cells. So as a result, will you make some progress? Yes. And that is simply because it's much like if your elbow hurts and you stop banging it on stuff, then it's going to stop hurting so much. But it doesn't mean that the repair work has been done. It just means that you've stopped initiating the damage. If you want to repair the work, you actually have to work at the level of the body and giving it back the resources to do the repair work. Now that's specific to each person. It is not a one-size-fits-all. Not everybody needs many milligrams of this and X many milligrams of that. In fact, sometimes that can push a body in the opposite direction of the intended outcome. So if you're trying to repair cellular systems and cleanse them, you have to get the energy back in order for then the body to dictate that it's safe enough to do the detoxification and the repair work. This is huge, and it gets missed all the time. I don't care if you have toxicity in an organ system. If your body lacks the ability to put the appropriate resources there to repair the system, you demanding that it's done right now is not going to cause that repair work to be permanent. It's going to be very surface, and it's going to be very temporary. This goes for the gut, this goes for the liver, this goes for the kidneys. Now, if you actually even want to quote unquote detox further, like, oh, I think I have heavy metals, a lot of times people go about this by kind of brashly dumping in substances that help chelate heavy metals out of the body, I'll tell you what's going to happen next, is that you've selectively told the body that that issue gets moved ahead of the line. Now, it beating and your blood moving, because you're actually way more exhausted than you know, but you're jumping ahead of the line and saying, no, it's very important to me that you detox mercury right now. Well, deal is, in doing so, your body's got to go scavenge all that mercury. It's pulling it out from layers deep in the tissues. That's causing a lot of usage of energy that it didn't have for that task, which means all the other things it was trying to do, it is now no longer working on. In addition to that, it's now dedicating resources to the detoxification of the metals, and that takes huge amounts of minerals, you guys, huge. All the processes needed to detox metals require massive amounts of minerals. If you don't have those in sufficient reserve, it's not enough to just simply start pounding them in because you're going through detox, because your body's not set up to do that in the next order. It all goes back to body wisdom. I mean, this is my whole point of this conversation, is that most cleansing negates body wisdom and goes by practitioner logic, and those things don't work. So in chelation or in heavy metal detox, we circumvent that. We force the pathway. The liver may not be prepared for that onslaught. The kidneys may not be prepared for that onslaught. Your bile may not be moving. Your gut may be too inflamed. You might have constipation, which of course they usually remedy by giving you like senna or some kind of irritant laxative, which again is a whole other ball of wax. The gist being, you may end up moving some of the minerals, but you're not going to end up creating a solution to the problem because you haven't repaired the cell energy systems that are responsible for fixing the problem. This is the step that gets missed. I watch it time and time again. I know, I have some of my best friends are naturopathic doctors, but I do watch this happen over and over and over. And it's because we have been so well trained scientifically that a lot of times we go down that route and we kind of forget the alchemy of the body, that the body has a hierarchy of order, that it is in charge, and that when we take healing in a route where we circumvent the body's innate intelligence and the hierarchy of the order as it sees it, we are actually negating like the God language inside of us. So if instead we approach cleansing as a process that occurs by A, understanding what the patterns are for that person, by B, hi Kathy, by B, addressing it by cell-based systems, C, giving back the nutrients for the cell systems to be repaired, D, getting back the organ systems themselves that are responsible for detoxification by slowly and steadily opening the pathways of detoxification, and then allowing the body to dictate the order, you will have magical cleansing of all the organ systems, but it won't be selective, and it'll be broad spectrum, and it'll be body directed, which I have to tell you, if you've never experienced body directed healing, then you're in for like a magical experience, because when your body finally feels like it's being listened to, your whole world opens up. Because honestly, our systems have been waiting for us to hear the call that our body is a living organism. I know that probably sounds like, well, duh, my body's a living organism. But I'm talking about like this deeper level of conscious expression of life force in action. That's what your body is. And our healing should reflect that. We need to be in awareness and recognition and alignment with that if we want the big stuff. And that's why I always ask people, did you just want a Band-Aid? Like, do you just want the symptom to be gone? If that's what you want, then go anywhere. In all honesty, go anywhere, because there are lots of people who offer you Band-Aids. But that is not the way I work, because I'm not interested in Band-Aids. The symptom is just the way the body speaks to me that it's been out of balance for far too long. And like I said, that's usually a 10, 20-year process. Most people have symptoms of things that certainly have not just been brewing for the last 2-3 years. I don't care if the symptoms have only been there for 2-3 years. That's just when you reach threshold. So if you want to approach cleansing as a means of healing, you have to do it with the understanding that cleansing is always a part of deep healing, as long as it's a process of restoring the energy and communication within the body with respect and honor to the body's own innate wisdom, giving back the resources that the body needs to heal the systems innately, supporting at all times the organs of elimination, and working from the patterns of that individual as identified at the cell layer, and then respectfully moving forward from there. That's how that happens. And real healing systems have no issue with cleansing people, because it's just part of restoring energy. But you have to do it with energy restore in the mix. Otherwise, you're just kind of blasting the body, and in all honesty, modern life gives us enough ways that we blast the crap out of our systems. We don't need that to happen in our healing. And so, you know, don't go to the health food store and buy some weird prepackaged cleanse. And also don't assume that it's going to happen in a short period of time. And ask questions. Like it's imperative that we start working at these deeper layers. I will tell you that everything that we're doing in our bodies is synonymous with the way that we're living our lives, and this goes for a society-wide, you know, approach. And I get it. We're all kind of overdone, exhausted, and we're looking for those quick fix solutions. We're looking for it to be cheap and easy. And that's just, if you've been at something for 10, 20 years, you need to accept the gravity of the situation and accept that the fact is if you want to go all the way, then you got to be all the way in. And when you do that, you're going to find that there were miracles waiting below the surface that have been trying to express themselves to you for years. And when they start to express, because you clear the path by being in respect and honor to your body, it's going to be like magic unfolding before your eyes. So that's my message for you guys today. I think you all are beautiful. I think you're all on this planet for a reason. You all have means and reasons why you're here to serve. But if you're not feeling your best, it is time to honor and respect the body and dive in at that deepest level to solve the problems for real and for sure and for good. Because my gosh, who wants to do this for another 10 years, you know, just circling the same issues over and over and over? Now I need to do this diet. Now I need to do these supplements. Like I've heard it all, and I don't want that for any of you. So have a beautiful afternoon. Thanks for watching. Reach out if you have questions. Take care.